Hi beauties, and welcome to today's reading. um we're going to do a little bit of bookmancy towards the end. That's what we're gonna do different today, and I'm really excited to share that with you. But up until that point, as you can see, I already have your tarot cards shuffled, your oracles shuffled. So let's see what this is about. This is about a period of your life that you're about to enter, where socializing, meeting people, being out and about, possibly seeing more faces than you're used to is going to be a huge theme. A lot of you that are here today might be Libras or have prominent Libra placements. You don't have to, but if those are present, that might be extra confirmation that this reading is for you. So, I feel like in this new chapter, you guys are learning how to be social creatures. Some of you might have gone through a period of time where you were in hermit mode. Some of you might have been social, but with the wrong people. And there's yet others who have been socializing with the right people, but are just a little bit awkward, or they feel like they're being the black sheep of the group or something like that. And it's almost like there isn't enough reciprocation between you and the people in your life, whether those be friends, family members, or lovers. I do want to point out that for those of you who find themselves in this predicament of I am not getting along with my partner, my romantic partner, I do get a sense that what you guys need to do is work on your ability to defend yourself and to stand your ground. I do feel like you being a Libra or having this ability to keep conflicts at bay and want everyone to feel peaceful and happy and joyous, and you want to get along. You want to avoid conflict pretty much at all costs, whenever possible. But I feel like your fear of conflict has elicited the easier access of people who will take advantage of you into your life. So, if your relationships have been kind of shite, one of the reasons why is because you need to be okay standing up for yourself, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I know some of you might have a fear of rejection or perhaps a fear of abandonment, and standing up for yourself might be something that's incredibly hard to do. That stirs up a lot of feelings, a lot of anxiety inside of you, but it is something that you get used to the more you practice it. And it is something really, really important in order for you to keep being respected, not only by those who you interact with, but for you to respect yourself, right? You tend to have better boundaries when you love yourself, and vice versa. When you have self-esteem, you will want to have boundaries because you don't want yourself to be drained, to be used, to be manipulated into doing something you don't actually agree to do. And I feel like part of your work from now on is going to be to, first of all, grow that self-esteem by setting better boundaries and learning not to seek approval from others, but from the results that you are getting for yourself. So, for example, some of you might have set out multiple times throughout your existence to lose weight, get better grades, get a certain diploma or certificate, or a certain brand of car, watch, anything that will get like external approval, right? When you stop chasing that, what you are going to start looking at instead for that validation is going to be the results you are getting from the work that you are putting in. So even if you don't have that perfect body, let's say, you still respect yourself because you still go to the gym 3-4 times a week when you feel like it and when you don't feel like it. It doesn't matter. This is something that builds character and it builds that self-esteem. And soon enough, it will be visible. So you will feel even more proud and it will be even easier to uphold this promise to yourself. But you're not gonna get approval from external factors anymore. It's gonna be compounded from the work that you have put in. Okay. I do feel like also in this new chapter, some of you might need to change the way you behave in social situations, and I'm gonna elaborate on that a little bit. First of all, you are going to want to have more of an opinion, and second of all, you are going to want to know how to frame and express that opinion in a way that not necessarily appeals, but in a way that is not, I heard derogatory, so I'm gonna put it out there, sure, why not, derogatory, but abrasive or coercing or forcing something down people's throats. So you can have an opinion, you can voice it, just make sure you do it in a way that you are not aggressive about it. I don't know how else to put it. So like, you don't feel the need for people to approve of you. You don't feel the need to convince people that you are right. But having an opinion is equivalent here to having a backbone, having a personality. And I feel like you need to learn to speak more than just yes or no answers. You need to actually elaborate questions and elaborate answers that are longer than 5 words. You know what I mean? Possible multiple sentences even. So yeah, that might be a little intimidating at first if you've been keeping to yourself for a while, or if you are not necessarily the extrovert type. However, this chapter is going to have you be more social, exactly because it is going to be of help to you in the future. In what way exactly? First of all, it's gonna teach you to take care of your physical appearance more. And even though you might feel like that is a superficial thing, and if you guys have Libra in your charts, you might have a either love or hate relationship with aesthetics and looks and clothes and styling yourself. But I feel like most of you will at least once in their lives, will have experienced the joy of a great outfit or mastering a certain makeup look or something like that, and you will have felt the difference between going out in pajamas and going out really put together, really polished, right? So I do feel like appearances are gonna be important, and you're gonna see how taking care of yourself, not necessarily looking good, but looking like you take care of yourself, is going to get you further than you ever thought was possible. I really hope this is not gonna break, so I'm gonna put out this candle. It's probably not the most effective way. Hang on a second, I do have one of those things that put out candles. I forgot what it's called, but we're gonna do that because I heard something that sounded like a crack, so let's hope it wasn't a crack. Anyways, to continue, yeah, so like I said, you are going to learn how being polished and looking a certain way can make all the difference, even though you might not be upholding the traditional good looking standard. It doesn't matter. Like, you don't need to look fabulous, you just need to look polished, or like you care about yourself. And it's all about acting here. There's a lot about acting here, how you act, how you present yourself, the role you are playing. What kind of role are you playing in your group, in society? How do you want to be perceived? Because as much as you don't want to think that, oh, I am not just a body, or I am not just a pawn in society, I'm not just resumed to my social security number and my age and stuff like that. Yeah, you'd be correct, but how you behave and how you choose to present yourself and embellish yourself, not even necessarily in what you wear, but in how you hold yourself, right? So for example, some people might be seductive, some people might be overly joyous and positive, some people might be like having that caring, loving, warm grandma energy. Like, what's your energy? What's your flavor, if you want? And I feel like you're gonna be experimenting with various types of flavors, not so much to feel included, but to stand out in a way that you are still part of the crowd, but you do stand out. It's not like taking yourself out. It's not necessarily that hermit energy. I feel like you're coming out of that hermit energy where you think you've solved all your social problems because you have taken yourself out of social situations, but in fact, you know, removing the trigger doesn't mean you've healed. So this is a very healing era for some of you when it comes to your social life and your social skills, and it's going to help you understand yourself better, and that in turn is going to have consequences, good consequences, when it comes to your career, your opportunities, what you're willing to accept, meaning that you're willing to accept more opportunities and possibly better pay, better positions, and go after your goals without as much hesitation or any hesitation at all compared to how you used to up until this point. So that's pretty much all I have for you when it comes to the cards. We're going to get into the oracle books first. And if you do want to sit down and just chill and set the intention that this message is for you, or maybe even ask a question if you want, we are going to look through 3 different books. You can totally ask 3 different questions, or just set the intention that the message is right for you and it's what you need to hear. So without further ado, the first message for you is... it takes time to see that wishes can be fulfilled. And we have number 27 or 270, which numerologically would reduce to a 9. Okay. Speaking of numbers that might resonate, we have, this one doesn't have a number. This one is a 9, I believe, as well, which also reduces to a 3. And we also have a 26, which reduces to an 8. 4, 2, pick any of those. For your next question, what do we have for the people watching? Make a wish! Oh my god. Your wish is ready to be granted. You will need a large fresh leaf. Don't forget to ask for permission from the plant or tree before you take the leaf. A black marker pen. 1. Write out your wish on the leaf using the black marker pen. 2. Place the leaf in a safe place. When the leaf starts to dry, take it back to a large tree, crumple it up and offer it back to the earth at the base of the tree. Okay, so for some of you, you don't necessarily have to do that ritual as it is. You can modify it, or you can just make a wish without needing, you know, to actually make a ritual around it. Do whatever you feel comfortable with. And we also have pour love into yourself, and in turn the universe will pour love into you. And we have 311. And the last oracle book is the Book of Answers. So let's see, what do you need to hear? Press for closure. All right. And before we end this video, I am also going to do a little bit of bookmancy, like I said. First of all, I have this sticker book, which I absolutely love. I love sticker books, especially the ones with hardcovers. And I'm going to open a random page, and whatever you see on that page might be a sign for you or confirmation for you that this message is right for you, or it might confirm things you've been seeing, hearing, dreaming about, signs and symbols that you might have been coming across. And we have the letter R. Okay. I am not sure why this is under R, like this is a knot, so I'm not sure if you guys know what this is called. Rope? Oh, this is rope, stupid. Okay, rope. Ties. I also heard the ties that bind. What else do we have? A rabbit, a rose. Okay, whatever resonates with you here, take it as it does. A rhombus. Okay. And last but not least, I am going to do that final bookmancy thing where we actually look at a book with text. Oh my god, imagine. And I chose the Encyclopedia of Spirits for this one. So let's see, what do you need to know? I'm going to open this at a random page. I'm going to close my eyes and kind of just do like that on the page, and we'll see what we land on. Okay, what deity, what spirit we land on. And let's say this one. Okay, that's a lot of writing. If you want to pause and read this, go for it. If not, I'm gonna read it for you, because what the hell, what else what else do I have to do with my life, right? So we have Kikimora, also known as Shishimora, origin Slavic. I'm Slavic, hi. The Kikimora is a female house spirit with dominion over spinning, weaving, and needlework. There is not one Kikimora but many. Theoretically, every household may have one. She may or may not be married to the domovoi, the Russian male house spirit. If she's happy with the family with whom she lives, then she'll serve as their guardian, tending family chickens and helping with housework and needlework. But beware if she's unhappy. The Kikimora will create havoc. She demonstrates displeasure by moving objects around and causing significant items to go missing. She also throws things, sometimes aiming at people. Okay. Moody. Her aim is allegedly quite good. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. Although she is reputedly very small, based on the weight of the items she is describing as throwing, the Kikimora is very powerful. The Kikimora is not an innately malicious spirit. She can be helpful. She possesses powerful psychic talents and will warn her family of impending disaster and the arrival of enemies. However, she can be a difficult and challenging spirit to work with and keep happy. The Kikimora is a chicken goddess, but not necessarily a chicken guardian. She has affinities with poultry, either caring for them or tormenting them. She may pluck their feathers or scare them so they won't lay eggs unless the chicken yard is magically protected. For example, a field stone containing a natural hole placed in the chicken yard is a traditional magical remedy to protect chickens from her. The Kikimora is sometimes associated with Baba Yaga, who also has affinities with chickens. Both spirits reward and favor women who perform traditional women's work skillfully and graciously. The Kikimora sleeps in dark corners of the home, such as behind the stove or in the cellar. Although the Kikimora is a house spirit, she is capable of travel and apparently enjoys visits to the bathhouse, where she is frequently encountered. She is an oracular spirit, but she tends to deliver warnings of misfortune rather than happy news. She does not explicitly deliver her information, but her appearances, actions, and behavior may be interpreted for clues. To witness her seated by the home's entrance was interpreted as an ominous sign. To witness the Kikimora spinning was believed to be a harbinger of impending death. In his stone poem Kikimora, Russian composer Anatoly Lyadov, you can read the dates, describes this house spirit as a tiny brown witch with a thimble-sized head and a body no wider than a straw. She spends her first 7 years living in a magician's mountain cave, where she sleeps in a crystal cradle and is regaled with fairy tales by the magician's cat. Only after 7 years does she leave the cave to go live among people. Manifestation. The Kikimora is usually described as a small woman with long flowing hair wearing traditional Russian folk costume. She may have chicken feet. She is most frequently witnessed combing her hair. Bird chicken time. The Kikimora is particularly active during the Yuletide season. I am not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. See also Baba Yaga and Domovoy. So, if anything here resonated for you guys, maybe familiars or spirits that are attending to your home, maybe being careful who steps into your house, maybe setting up protection, something with chickens might be a sign. But yeah, anything here that resembles a sign, take it as it resonates, and if it doesn't, it's fine, that wasn't for you. So thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like this video if you want to support me, and leave me a comment down below. Let me know how it resonated. If you want details on my private readings, you can find them in the description of the video. And feel free to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. So other than that, I'll see you next time.